Hello and welcome to Australia for round 3 of the 2021 Formula Virtual World Championship. My name's Bradley Doughton. I'll be joined today by Lily Westwood.
Good day, mate. Shrimp on the barbie.
And down in the pit lane, Robert Matthershaw.
Hooroo!
Today then the drivers will be tackling 43 laps of this 16-turn, 5.303km circuit. It is Enrique Ruiz who won here last year and has in fact won 3 of the last 4. So it will be interesting to see how he goes today. Let's take a look through the grid then. He's got a great chance because he lines up second, but it's Nathaniel Powers on his maiden pole of the season. He starts on the mediums, Ruiz on the softs. He'll be looking to get through early doors to make those softs work. Elroy Wagner goes from third. Felix Perez starts from fourth. He's the lead car on the super softs. There's a few behind him as well, likewise Klaas van Schnellheid. So they will be looking to make the moves early on to make the most of those tyres. Nick Addison starts from sixth on the hards, so watch for him. He might be a bit of a roadblock. Adrian Simon seventh, ahead of Danilo Farini in eighth, the third of the 3 cars on the super softs. Farini with the most work to do. Thierry Zylander and James Vazquez round out the top 10. For both of them, easily their best qualifying of the season and a dramatic improvement from Malaysia, especially in the case of Ingram. Marcus Thunder, the best of the Lucases, in 11th ahead of Brock Kidd, lining up 12th on the hard tyres. Tumo Kinnaman gives Westwood their best qualifying, he starts 13th. Hunter Ryan and Puccio Giordano meanwhile give Ocelot their worst of the season. They go from 14th and 15th. A lot of work to do if they're to earn points from this one here today. Jules Barclay starts 16th for here in Australia. Sergio Alvarez goes from 17th ahead of Jean Matten, who couldn't quite match his teammate. He was nearly there in practice but couldn't do it in qualifying when it mattered. Maximilian Thunstrom starts 19th. Alar Kanga suffered terribly with traffic in qualifying. He will only line up 20th, but not the worst of those. Finn Schneider goes from 21st. The only AMR to make the race after Max Mayer's engine expired in Q1. Johan Halverson starts down in 22nd. For Nilsson 23rd, the only Arrow, one of all teams made it through from Q1. Milkovic goes from 24th. Will Hoskins lines up 25th. He was another one who had awful traffic for qualifying. Carson Davenport makes Meteor's first race of the year. Starts from last. As we go down to the grid then, it's Nathaniel Powers in pole position on the right. Enrique Ruiz alongside him on the left. The lights go out now and we're racing in Australia then. It looks like a decent start from Powers, but an even better one from Ruiz then, who already draws alongside. He'll have the inside to turn 1. Enrique Ruiz is going to take the lead. Powers skitters out wide, nearly collects Perez then as he comes back on. Perez into second. Ruiz is absolutely gone up front as a result of that. Powers already now coming under pressure then from Elroy Wagner as Adrian Simon dives to the inside of the German.
Ruiz was making no bones about how he was getting through there and just almost barged Nathaniel Powers out of the way there. Some really hard races to start here.
Yeah, absolutely. Powers loses his pole position then. It's Ruiz leading relatively comfortably from Felix Perez with Nathaniel Powers in third as Elroy Wagner, having been passed by Simon, now immediately under pressure from Danilo Farini, who looks around the outside.
Yes, don't forget, obviously, as we've got also a move on here.
That's Vazquez on Zylander.
Yeah, very nice stuff there. So Zylander being demoted down to 10th place with Hunter Ryan having made an excellent start, moving up 3 or 4 places from his starting position, and is now finding himself chasing after that final points paying position.
Absolutely. Up front, meanwhile, Felix Perez, though, has rapidly caught Enrique Ruiz, but then, of course, Perez is on the super soft tyres, isn't he, as we go on board with Farini, who is likewise on the red sidewalls.
Yes, the super softs really seem to have switched on immediately today. As I have a stroke mid-sentence, so I think Felix. Red
as
ties.
we go on to the second lap, then Perez absolutely stalking Ruiz down into turn 1, as behind Powers coming under pressure now from Adrian Simon for third place. As that's a move now. That's one of the Westwoods. Oh, as that's Thunder getting sideways in turn 1, but just manages to hold on to 13th.
Yes, Barclay looking to get a great run there out of the final corner and just didn't have enough under braking to get the move done.
Absolutely, it's Farini's done Wagner then at turn 3. Danilo Farini through and up into 5th on those super soft tyres, and Wagner now under pressure from Klaas van Schnellheid.
Yeah, and we see Barclay there finishing that move off that he instigated at turn 1 with a beautiful pass around the outside of turn 4.
Yeah, nicely done there from Jules Barclay to move himself up into 13th position. The super soft tyres really do seem to have the pace at the moment, don't they?
Yes. Well, here we go. Perfect example. Felix Perez. Oh, bit slidey at the rear here.
Very slidey.
Just wondering if maybe might have had some rain before the race or something that's just made the track turn completely green for lack of grip, basically.
Yeah, certainly doesn't seem like they've got a lot out there, does it? As we see Klaas van Snelheid now behind Elroy Wagner, but it doesn't look as though... I mean, we've seen this in Australia in years gone by, haven't we? That it's difficult to overtake, and despite the change in tyres, it doesn't seem like that's really a whole lot different this year. There's only still 1 or 2 places to really overtake on this lap.
Yeah, obviously we've got turn 1, turn 3 seems to have some availabilities. Oh, up the
Here
inside.
We go. Yeah, Klaas dives for the inside on Wagner, but it doesn't quite work at turn 1 though. But I think he might have a good enough run here into turn 3 to potentially get this and move up into 6th place. Klaas van Snelheid doesn't go for it.
No, besides discretion, the better part of Valor there, lives to fight another day. It's just not worth it this early in the race, risking that damage to your car, risking any kind of... Well, we don't really have penal action anymore, but yeah, just better to wait it out and see what you can do.
I disagree. I think it's absolutely crucial they get these moves done early. They're on the super soft tyres.
Yeah, there is obviously the fact that they need to get the move done quickly, but it's better to get the move done later on and actually complete it than rush it. I suppose while he's trying to still feel out as well, we're only, what, 2-3 laps in, trying to feel out where Wagner might be weakest on track, possibly.
Yeah, likewise up front, Perez will be doing that for Enrique Ruiz, but despite the tyre advantage, he's still not managed to make the move, as behind them, the Simon Farini are still stuck up behind Nathaniel Powers.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if maybe Perez is overheating his tyres in the dirty air of that Mathashore.
You'd imagine so at this point, he must be.
Yes, obviously he's been right on his tail for the last few laps, so he looks closer this lap, I think. But he gets a poor run out of turn 2.
Oh, Simon looks to the inside of Powers then, but can't quite make it happen at turn 1. Klaas van Snelheid behind does though, as Wagner goes wide and gets on the grass and just about recovers in front of Nick Addison.
I'll tell you what, we're saying that it's like not easy to overtake here. We're seeing a yellow in sector 1 here. That's Thunder going down.
Kid!
Yeah, Thunder down the order. Kid! Oh.
Brock Kidd going backwards then. I'm sure we'll get a replay of what happens there as Addison moves past Wagner as well, and that is Brock Kidd recovering at turn 1 then. Well, turn 1, turn 2.
Turn 1, turn 2. What even is life, you know?
Well, quite. No. He's clearly had some incident there. But I can't quite highlight who with.
Interesting how Hunter Ryan has gone forward quite well, and Giordano seems to have actually gone backwards here. Also,
here we go, on board with Kidd. So Kidd lost it on his own then, out wide.
Yeah.
And is that Kidd's on the hard tyres?
Yes. Oh, with some damage to the front wing.
Yeah, and got whacked by a few different people. Oh, one of the Lopez's.
Oh,
wow, he had to go at hitting everyone there, didn't he?
Yeah, oh, that's Thunder and Vanstrom, up the inside there, benefiting massively from that crash. Actually, the likes of Barkley and Brian have also done really well off of that. They've got themselves a nice buffer back to these harder tyre runners. Up the inside, not quite on there.
Yeah, that's Klaas van Snelheid on Farini. So these two drivers then both on the super soft tyres, but Klaas has passed Wagner and rocketed up to the back of this trio and is now challenging Danilo Farini.
He's turned them into a quartet?
Yep.
Is that what they call them? Like a barbershop, guys, where they all sing
a barbershop quartet, yeah.
Yeah, the barbershop.
I wonder what a barbershop quartet of Powers, Simon Farini and Van Snelheid would sound like.
Not good. I don't know, maybe if we could raise enough money for charity, they would do it.
Yeah, I'm still not sure anyone will want to listen to that. There's Nathaniel Powers still defending third position then. He's running on the mediums. So Simon must be on the softs, I reckon. Yeah.
Yeah, he's right there.
I was trying to see the tyres from a distance. It was difficult. Yeah, so it seems as though maybe just sort of like one compound difference isn't quite enough to get the job done, is it?
No.
Oh, mind you, Farini to the inside of Adrian Simon at the penultimate corner. Beautiful late move and makes it work.
Attack the best form of defence in that situation. Puts a car between himself and Klaas van Snelheid, and crucially, that will give him a little bit of a gap here.
Yeah, and Van Snelheid immediately pressuring Adrian Simon tucked right up under the rear wing. Looks as though he might try a move into turn 3 then. He's close enough, but we shall see. As they're all kicking the back end out into turn 1, aren't they? As there we go. That's Klaas down the inside of Adrian Simon and up into 5th.
Obviously, it'd be interesting to see how quickly they burn through these super softs going through the race. It wasn't massively warm, if I remember rightly. I could be mistaken, however.
Unfortunately, our thermometer is broken, so I've absolutely no idea what the temperature is. It feels... Well, I mean, it's warmer than Britain, but then everything's warmer than Britain.
I've got one, but I can't, like, you know, get it out and use it while I'm sat down. I'm a bit like standing up.
Yes. As Farini then stalking Nathaniel Powers. And you were very, very sideways there from Powers. They all are.
Yeah, they're just desperately scrambling for any kind of grip they can find.
Yeah, there certainly doesn't seem to be a lot, does there? As you sense this is a move coming, isn't it? Very, very soon from Farini.
Oh, 100%. 2 compounds softer.
And they need to do it as well, because this quartet are already 7 seconds behind Perez in 2nd place.
Yeah, who is still hanging on to the back of Ruiz, but not doing anything with it.
Yeah, he's just permanently there, isn't he?
What's interesting is how much time Addison is.
Farini looks to the inside of turn 1, can't quite make it work though. That's going to put himself under pressure from Klaas van Snelheid then into turn 3. But I think, and you know, he might still have the run here. Those tyres are a lot quicker.
Yeah,
indeed, Farini pulls out to the inside and easily breezes past Nathaniel Powers.
Yeah, lovely move there. Obviously, again, really needs to get that done. As here's the battle I was just mentioning. Addison on those hard tyres. Is less of a train than I had expected. So
it's a train that's lost several carriages.
Well, when I last looked, Zylander was a bit closer, you see.
There's, Nick Addison then. Yes, I suppose you could say struggling on those mediums. He's 4 seconds behind the sort of the group in front of him. Which, I mean, in fairness, is less of a gap, sort of like, I suppose you... hard to medium than the mediums of Powers to the softs of Ruiz.
Yeah, I suppose that's true.
The 2 softer compounds definitely seem to have a significant pace advantage, shall we say?
Yes, which obviously we would expect. But it'll be interesting to see whether we get what we've witnessed so far this season, which is a typical like a bolted on like 1 stop for Haas, 2 stop, 3 stop, etc. Oh, here we go.
Yeah, for sure. I don't think this will be too difficult for Klaas van Snelheid.
No, I can't imagine team orders will come into play here. As we've got some screaming in my ear. Rob, what would you like to say?
Well, I just thought I'd get involved. So looking at the race strategy so far, I'm just coming up to say something now because in 1 lap time, the window for a 4-stopper opens, and depending on how, of course, these super soft runners that are looking pretty good so far go, if they can get to lap 11, that'll be 3 stops. 2 stops is 15 laps on a stint, and then 22 laps will get everybody their 1-stop strategy. And once again, we've got really a massive variety of tyre compounds in contention here, with the leading Ruiz on softs, with Perez on the supers, and then Powers, as you see, kind of forming a bit of a roadblock there on the medium tyre. But one thing to note, Maximilian Sundstrom in 13th on the soft tyre, just got the fastest lap of the race, 7 laps into the stint. So it might be interesting to see whether or not, as the time goes on, whether those soft tyres can just start to keep that longevity, or whether or not the supers in clear air as the track or as the field spreads out just that little bit, whether we see them start to get a bit more of an advantage.
Yeah, definitely. That best lap by Thunstrom has just been bettered by Felix Perez then, who, despite being stuck behind Enrique Ruiz, has managed to just lower that benchmark, but I think only briefly. As Klaas van Snelheid now goes for 4th on Powers. Powers gets right out on the grass, as we've seen a few times, and Klaas goes comfortably through, but that's going to put him under immediate pressure from Adrian Simon, who will surely take advantage, but doesn't.
Yeah, you'd have thought that Powers wouldn't fight that too hard to so as not to compromise himself to Simon behind. But yeah, just ran himself out wide. Looks like that outside line really does not give you much grip at all.
No, not at all, as that's Thunder then trying to move up past Jean Matson, and he's got the inside to turn 3, and I think that's going to be an easy move. Matson's going to get mugged here. Kinnaman's going to go past as well on the outside of turn 4.
Boy. couple of disheartening corners there for John Matson, who drops down to 16th place in what is already a bit of a difficult season for the Ingram boys.
Yeah, they've really struggled, haven't they? I mean, they've looked sort of nowhere. I was going to say they've looked nowhere near points in the opening races, and yet Vasquez is running 9th.
Yeah, he's just chilling.
I don't quite know where that's come from.
I'm a cool kid. Probably isn't saying this, it's probably concentrated. Some people do that.
He's certainly doing a stellar job so far.
Some will say Stella. Where's the wife?
As Felix Perez then still stalking Enrique Ruiz up front as they're on to lap 10 now. So we are just 1 lap short of the 3-stop window, aren't we? Interestingly, Farini's closed, but not, I don't think, as quickly as I was expecting on the 2 leaders. He's only gained about just over a second since he got past.
Yeah, which is weird because obviously he's got the extra soft, the super soft. Oh man! But he's got the clear air as well, which is had looked until now to be the kind of determining factor. So I don't know. I guess we're still figuring out who is where in this race. Maybe Farini just doesn't have the pace today. I mean, Addison is clearly struggling on his tyres.
Absolutely. That's quite an interesting graphic. Down at the bottom there, 18, nearly 19 seconds back from race leader Ruiz. At 10 laps in. That is nearly a pit stop. In fact, I think that might be over a pit stop here.
I think it's a fairly short pit stop here. Yeah. Obviously, we'll have to wait and see.
Which for Ruiz would be absolutely perfect, because that would mean Ruiz would come out in 4 seconds of clear air if he were to pit. But no, Ruiz is on the softs, isn't he? So it's Perez that we need to be looking for as the probably the first man in.
Is it just me, or do the cars look to have set themselves up with a lot of camber for this afternoon's Grand Prix? Like front end camber, this seems quite. That said, yeah, Danilo Farini pumps in the fastest lap almost as if he can hear you, Bradley.
Yeah, he's woken up, hasn't he? He's just gone, oh, they don't think I'm quick enough, I'll go a bit faster.
Yeah, he's now proceeding to rip time out of the leading pair.
He absolutely is. Gap down to 5 seconds then behind Perez.
Thunstrom has obviously still been pumping in. Oh my goodness! Never mind.
Pumping in.
The point now. I can't get out in a few attempts, but no one gets it.
Okay, we'll move on. On board with Adrian Simon, sat in 6th, still unable to get past Nathaniel Powers then. So, yeah, it definitely seems, doesn't it? Where there's only 1 compound difference, although there's a clear pace advantage, it's still a struggle for drivers to overtake here.
Yes, I think obviously when you've got that compound difference, it does give you a bit of a hand. But we're not, as you've said before, we're not seeing it be, just a free, you can go through if you have these tyres on kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Basically me just copying your point because it was right.
That's fair enough. That's exactly as I was expecting. What have we got happening elsewhere? Will Hoskins hasn't made any progress. Well, I mean, he's made a bit because he qualified on the back row, but he's only 20th and he's not really gone any further.
Only.
Kanga as well struggled to get anywhere.
Kanga's having a dismal afternoon.
Yeah, I tell you.
Davenport is 5 seconds off the nearest car.
He's got Kid right with him, but Kid's on the hard tyre as well. I think both Davenport and Kid are on the hard tyres, so I think that North Star's not really shown a tremendous amount of pace, so I think Kid will still struggle to get that move done.
Yeah. Oh, Ryan makes it past. Hunter Ryan makes it past Zylander there. Lifts himself up into the points and does well with it. I don't know what I was going to be carrying on to say there. Yeah,
and look at that. He's already pulled like an 8/10, nearly a second gap. So Ryan clearly with a bit of pace there. So I should imagine he will rapidly close onto the back of James Vasquez. Then we'll keep an eye on that one. Yeah, I think Kanga's got his work cut out, hasn't he, to make it 3 third places in a row.
Ooh, yeah, unfortunately. And Wagner is doing his usual trick of falling backwards in a race.
Here we go then. Into the pits comes Felix Perez, but it's the end of lap 12, so this is a comfortable 3-stopper on the super softs.
Robert.
And I can see him coming in, and we've got behind as well Daniel Farini. I like the way I nearly went into horse racing there. happening there. We've got Van Snelheid in as well. We're going to take a look at the pit stop times while I watch. We've got the first stopping just before there, and it's a better stop. It's a good stop there from Perez. Van Snelheid a little bit quicker, makes a bit of time, but looks like it's going to be much the same. And yeah, so it's about 19 seconds through the pit lane from start to finish. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out as we go through the rest of the race.
Absolutely, that works out brilliantly for Perez then, who rejoins in fourth with 4 seconds of clear air. But Farini has rejoined behind his teammate Wagner and Vasquez, and Klaas Van Snelheid has rejoined even further back.
Yes, he's been fortunate enough to get out in front of Zylander, but he's got Hunter Ryan and, more importantly, Nick Addison further up the road, who will likely act as roadblocks in his race.
Absolutely, there's a lot of traffic for Farini and Van Snelheid to fight their way through then, where they weren't able to make the moves early on in this race, and they're going to have to do it now. Nathaniel Powers then goes up to second with those pit stops. Adrian Simon moves into third, but Felix Perez has already closed about 2 seconds on the outlap alone.
Yeah, he's if he makes this pass, oh wait, no, he'll have Powers to do as well, and then he'll have a bunch of clear air. If he does get himself into that clear air, then this could be like a race-defining moment, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, with only 2 stops to go, unless Ruiz can make it to the 2-stop point, Perez, I think, is sitting pretty, because he's already now inside of Ruiz's pit stop window.
Is that all that he's inside? So moving on from that bad joke.
In fact, he's already nearly on the back of Simon. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
As here we see Danilo Farini then behind James Vazquez. Can't get that move done. Klaas Van Snelheid behind though does dive out late on Hunter Ryan and takes 9th place.
Yeah, lovely move there. Obviously, fresher tyres, softer tyres, quicker car, and arguably better driver.
Farini! You don't overtake there. Danilo Farini's going to do it. He's going to make it work.
Admin, he's doing it sideways. That's not allowed.
Absolutely brilliant from Farini. Vasquez trying to come back at him, but it's not going to happen. Farini's got far more grip and far more pace, and Danilo Farini overtakes it in a place I don't think we've ever seen an overtake in Australia.
I'll admit that is a first for me, Bradley. A really good note that's been popped into my little ear hole, courtesy of our lovely man, Robert.
Our lovely man, Robert.
That's him. Is oh yeah, 1 lap. Well, I suppose now the 2-stop window is open.
It is, yes. So there we go. On to lap 15 as Felix Perez pulls out at turn 1 on Simon, forces Simon wide and onto the. Well, I can only assume there are marbles out there, and that's why everyone's sort of skiddy. As Wagner goes round then as Farini goes through, and Vasquez, Klaas Van Snelheid, and Hunter Ryan get caught up. Wagner backs it into the wall, but manages to get away without any damage.
Yeah,
that's a good effort.
Back out there for a sec, but everyone getting through there quite sensibly.
What that did do, that helped Hunter Ryan back past Klaas Van Snelheid. The Dutchman's got all that work to do over again.
What else happened? Oh, nothing. Yeah, so that's unfortunate for Klaas, but at least he'll just be happy, I think, to have made it through there unscathed. Yeah. Do you know what?
Felix Perez then in the wheel tracks of Nathaniel Powers. Interestingly, they've slightly gapped Adrian Simon since Perez moved past and into third. As I expect this will be a fairly straightforward move for Danilo Farini.
The two extremes of compounds in the same car. I would also, I don't know, could be close.
Yeah, I think Addison might hold him up. I don't think he's got a hope in hell. As Felix Perez then, surely he's going to do this into turn 1 on Nathaniel Powers. No thinks better of it. He'll try into turn 3 then, surely. Because that's super softs against the mediums.
It's not good to risk pulling out too frequently like that.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't go for it. As Farini blasts past Nick Addison like he was stood still on the exit of turn 1.
No contest. Just that supreme traction he's got.
Absolutely. Interestingly, though, it looks as though Addison has more grip.
Maybe that's because Farini is driving it like a rally car.
He's
After all, he is Swiss.
certainly driving it like he's stolen it, isn't he? What does Swiss have to do with rallying?
I was hoping I'd come up with something by the time you asked me that, but I don't
Okay.
have anything for you.
Alright, we'll forget that happened, don't worry.
Swiss roll. No, that wasn't even my idea. That was someone else. Speaking of someone else, while we're waiting for this to develop, Rob has a
Oh, Ruiz pits! Rob!
Hello. Yeah, Ruiz in now. I can see
Talk,
the
Andy.
Porsche guys ready to go. So it's going to be interesting to see where he comes out. It looks, I'd probably suggest maybe behind Adrian Simon. Although I'd imagine when Simon comes around, he'll be pitting. And
There he
indeed,
is.
I think I see him coming in there. There we go. I should know that.
Yeah.
I set the strategy. 4.4 seconds. A bit of a steady stop there for Ruiz. But as I say,
lost track position.
he has lost track position. But it's only a couple of seconds to a super soft tired runner.
Yeah, I think that was to be expected that Perez was going to go through, to be honest, despite his current inability to get past Nathaniel Powers. But yeah, that's a comfortable two-stop then for Ruiz. So 1 to go and 2 to go for Perez. Oh, there's contact in the pit lane between the two Lucas cars. Rob, did you see that?
Bruce exit as well.
Yeah, they're all wow. I've just seen Lucas Wilson absolutely incredulous there on the pit wall. Not quite sure what happened there. I only caught the aftermath, but certainly not the finest moment for the Lucas team.
No, absolutely. I should imagine they'll be immediately looking into that one and possibly considering not pitting their two cars on the same lap next time around. As Enrique Ruiz already immediately onto the back of Felix Perez then, as we've now got 3 absolutely nose to tail for the lead.
This is what we love to see. There's 3 different teams, like different strategies, all like duking it out at the front. It's good stuff.
3 different teams, 3 different sets of tyres.
Oh yeah.
Crack it.
It is, isn't it?
It is, yeah. As Van Schnellheid's got back past Hunter Ryan now then and is right tucked up behind James Vasquez. I nearly called him Nick Vasquez. Don't know where that come from. As Ruiz has got Perez. Ruiz has got Powers as well. He's done 2 in 1. Powers is off. Nathaniel Powers, the world champion, spins then on the exit of turn 1 and recovers. He's recovered well and will only slip to 4th, but that's Farini through.
I think he was just completely unsighted by the rapidly approaching Ruiz, and it must have got spooked on his way into the corner and locked the rears or something.
I think we all were. I mean, where did that turn of pace come from?
To be coming through at such a rate of knots. Got another brief yellow flag as someone's dropping down the order. Vasquez, no, he's coming out of the pits.
Yeah, Vasquez is just pitted.
Yeah, as Wagner gets passed by Simon, who spent a lap right off his bum. And that's Adrian Simon into a couple of seconds of clear air before he gets up to the back of Zylander, who will be, I don't know when he'll be pitting.
What tyre is Zylander on? Mediums?
Yes, he is. Oh, a bit scrappy at the back here. Round the outside goes Kanga. Now he's 21st.
Here we go. So this is a replay then, on board with Ruiz. And look at the pace advantage he had down into turn 1 and just went, thank you.
Yeah, Powers absolutely was just not ready for that. And his class goes up the inside.
Yeah, that's on Nick Addison then. That should be a comfortable enough move for the Dutchman. But no, Addison hangs it round the outside. He's going to make Klaas work for this. He's going to cost him every bit of time he can. Klaas Van Schnellheid sticks it there. They're still wheel to wheel as they come round the final corner. Addison is still holding on.
No way.
Incredible racing.
Ever seen 2 Formula Virtual cars side by side for that long without having contact? That was fantastic driving.
Oh, we've definitely seen it, but never in Australia.
Yeah, that's the other thing as well. How are they? I guess all I can think of is where the track is so green. They are able to go offline and fight each other here. Because don't forget, obviously, this is, these are street roads most of the year. It's only for a few weekends, I think, a year that it turns into, or even just one, that it turns into a Grand Prix circuit, or a V-Prix circuit, I should say.
Yeah, absolutely. And Van Schnellheid, that put him off to the point where he wasn't able to get the move done even into turn 3. So still stuck behind Nick Addison then. He'll have to try something else if he's to move up into 5th.
Yes, obviously, no games with the DRS or energy recovery systems, anything like that. This is just raw power and raw skill in this series.
Absolutely is. Oh, he looks to the inside of turn 11. That's ridiculous.
I would love, I mean, it would obviously probably result in contact, but I want to see it nonetheless.
I mean, that would have been some kind of mad overtake, but yeah, don't doubt at all that that would have been an incident. As back at the front, then we've got Perez must be fuming.
He's so sick of staring at Ruiz's bum.
Absolutely, he could draw a very detailed image of that gearbox, I should imagine, by the end of this race.
Getting a nice look at Ruiz's rear end.
Yeah. But
Oh,
as that's class all over the curb on the inside, and that's cost him time as behind Simon.
Simon is also getting out of shape.
Yeah, tries to do the same on Zylander with exactly the same result, and they're just struggling, aren't they, to make these moves?
Yes and no. It seems to be very much either you're going to be stuck behind another car, or you've got a yellow in sector 1. Who's dropping back?
We do. It's Will Hoskins. Oh, there's something's been kicked up there.
Glavin. What tire smoke, maybe. So Hoskins, a bad afternoon becomes even worse and loses any progress he might have made. Ouch, buddy.
Yeah, not gone well, has it? Not gone great for
no.
Kangaroo either. Here we go then, side by side again into turn 11, and this time Klaas van Snelheid sweeps around the outside to take 5th place.
I love seeing those overtakes. Fucking hell.
I'd love to see an onboard of that one.
I would adore it.
Absolutely brilliant.
So much more confidence on the brakes there for Adrian Simon.
Nearly ran Zylander off the road.
He probably feels like doing it at this point. He's been stuck there for a while.
He has, mind you. Not as long as Perez has been stuck behind Ruiz.
Yeah.
I reckon Ruiz came past so quickly, Perez didn't even realise. He's now sat there going, how did this happen?
I was in front. I had the track position, and now I don't. Oh, Simon makes the move on Zylander.
No, Zylander's going back.
He does.
They must be absolutely wheel to wheel then, but I think Zylander must have got that done now. As they've got Elroy Wagner on the back of them as well at the moment.
Yeah, as Kanga lifts himself in the top 20 as as Hoskins makes a pit stop.
As Kinneman's just gone into the top 10.
He's been there for a while, hasn't he?
Oh, sorry, missed that one. That's
Schneider
Finn Schneider with an overtake.
Oh, what a belter of a move.
Cracking move there. Schneider goes past Milkovic. It's probably not quite the race that he wanted. But Hoskins has lost his rear wing then.
Oh, that's not what you want to do.
So, Will Hoskins, that's going to be a rather lengthy pit stop, and I mean, well, yeah.
I'm going to bet he went into turn 2 backwards.
If his race wasn't pointless a lap ago, it certainly is now.
What a juxtaposition of an afternoon for the first boys. You got Perez up in 2nd position, keeping right on the tail of the leader. You got Hoskins in last without a tail.
I tell you what, Farini's catching this pair as well.
He is.
Perez needs to get this done, or he's going to be under pressure before long.
And then it becomes a completely different game for Perez, because he has to worry about Farini behind, whilst looking for any chance that he's got to put the moves on Ruiz in front. The wily old dog by this point, who's been around the block a few times, shall we say. That makes it sound more sexual.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're now into one-stop territory as well. We're past the halfway point in this race. And crucially, Powers then, who on the medium, so if he's going to pit at all here, we assume he will. That will be a one-stop. But that means both him and Ruiz have one stop to go, and he's on the cusp of falling outside of a pit stop's range of the race leader.
Yeah, as we see a lovely little scrap here at the back. Schneider goes around the outside of turn 2, and Milkovic is up the inside at turn 3. It's a bit of a struggle for Benilton, the only arrow to make it through and not be knocked out of the Q1 stage. But yeah, some great racing throughout the field. Worth pointing out the stuff at the back as well.
But in fairness, I think this is the first time in the history of having a Q1 where we've seen all 4 teams get a car into the race.
No, that can't be right.
I think it might be.
A good point made by Rob. Anyone that is on the hard tyres is obviously going to be making the same amount of stops as well. So that's Addison just behind Pat. Well, I'll say just behind.
Wow.
10 seconds behind.
Unless they don't pit at all.
I'd be surprised if they make it to the end with no pit stops. I'd be impressed.
Well, I mean, we'll have to wait and see what.
Speaking of Addison being overtaken by Seymour.
Whatever happens, I don't think it'll help.
Oh yes, Hansen. Yes, Hansen did do it. In Japan, wasn't it?
Yeah, he did actually. I mean,
Oh,
admittedly,
yeah,
he wasn't
round,
racing anyone, so you know he didn't exactly take any.
Oh!
Oh, that's a ridiculous rejoin from Puccio Giordano.
Don't know what you mean, mate. As safe as you like.
Absolutely shocking as Klaas van Snelheid now on the back of teammate Nathaniel Powers.
Can't imagine they'd have Nathaniel holding him up too much at this point.
We'd hope not. Powers is already... Now. There we go. As I mentioned a lap ago, Powers is now outside, pretty much. It was about 18.5, isn't it? Yeah, outside of the pit stop window of Enrique Ruiz.
Yes, that's awkward.
I think this is falling nicely for the Brazilian.
Yeah. Well, no, you've done it.
Yeah, sorry, Rob.
How we've had no retirements.
Do you know, it's ridiculous. We've had no retirements. We're 2.5 races in to the season, and we've not had a single car retire.
I want it on record right now that this is not my fault if something goes wrong.
You said it first.
Yeah, but you said it proper. You're the lead commentator.
You said it first. This is all on you.
So, if we want to switch over to someone that isn't going to commentate as curse anyone, we have a bit of a tech talk on that camber comment I made earlier, courtesy of our very own Robert Mathershaw.
Excellent, and if I commentate for the next 20 laps, hopefully nobody will say anything related to the race and everything will be okay. So looking at the front camber, it's something that I think the teams have been really focusing on for this weekend, because if you have a higher negative camber, so as you say, you've got quite a large angle, noticeably on the front end of these cars on their wheels. When you do that, you increase the sensitivity of the front end to turn in, so you get a more positive bite as the car turns in.
Rob, I'm just going to interrupt you. Can you cover pit stops? We've got Perez and Farini in.
Yeah.
Rob, do this. Rob, do that.
Well, he said to cover it, and how he covered it. So they're coming down. They're very much line astern in the pits, as you would expect. Perez and Farini. So Farini stops first. How long? It looks a good 3.5 seconds. Excellent pit stop. And I think, yes, he's going to jump Felix Perez. Excellent pit stop there from the Franklin guys. And where are they coming out? And they're coming out in clear air as well. Oh no!
Powers spins again.
Powers again.
Naughty boy!
Nathaniel Powers then round, and he's into the wall. Powers loses his rear wing, and that is going to be a long pit stop for Nathaniel Powers, and that is any chance of any kind of result in this race out of the window.
Weird to see Powers keep his back. Like, I don't know, he's obviously not been on the pace all afternoon, and now he's had the two really unprovoked spins. I suppose you could argue someone was coming out of pits. Wow, if this isn't the battle of the god. Thunderstorm, I think. No, Thunder. Sorry.
Yeah, that's Thunder on Barkley then to move into 17th. But yeah, it's that's the second spin we've seen on the outside of turn 1 for Powers. We've seen a lot of cars getting loose out there, to be fair.
Yes, obviously, as we've mentioned several times this race, the grip really isn't there for the guys today. They're just trying to find whatever they can.
Absolutely, and yeah, that's a disaster then for the championship leader. But Rob, let's carry on where you were before the pit stops.
Camber.
Yeah, so front camber, basically, the higher the negative camber, the more the front end turns really easily. And I think we've seen there with Powers, he had rather too much. But I think that's perhaps unfair. We've got more pit stops going on. If there's anything interesting, give me a shout. But essentially, but the offset with that is that the more negative camber you have, the reason that it works is essentially when you have the car cornering, you have the centripetal force, which is pushing the outside of the car downwards as you get the centre of gravity movement. So while these cars are very stiffly sprung to ensure the aerodynamics are as efficient as possible, you're effectively the outside tyre, when you have a negative camber, it turns slightly, so you get a larger contact patch. What that does mean is slightly more even tyre wear in the corners at the expense of uneven tyre wear in the straights. But also, it means you can wear the tyres more. There's more chance to scrub the tyre across the surface. So it's a bit of a balancing act, but ultimately, in a track like this where it's a relatively low grip scenario, as we've seen with cars sliding all over the place, that kind of confidence that they get on turning is something that they've really found benefits of this weekend. And as you said, really, everyone's doing it.
Thanks for that, Rob. That was a good little lesson for anyone at home wondering why the obviously they might be looking different this weekend. And also, just while I've still got you, Rob, would that go some way to explaining as Danilo?
That's
Farini
a very
ends in
quick
the
lap.
fastest
Wasn't the
lap?
previous one a
Yeah.
124 something?
I think it was, or a high 23. He's beaten it by at least a second, I'd say.
Yeah, Farini absolutely romping on to the back of Enrique Rees, and Felix Perez struggling to go with him.
Yeah. Oh, his class sets at 22.5. Bloody hell, he's dropping the pedal.
They're turning it on now, aren't they, on the super soft tyres? As Klaas finds himself behind Addison again. God.
Not for long, though.
At least he got that one done quicker this time.
Quicker and cleanly as well. Obviously, it was clean the first time, but...
Oh, as we've got Lucas's side by side there. I thought they were both going to go round there.
Yeah, that was that could have been a disaster waiting to happen. What was I going to say? Yes, in a lower grip scenario than we've obviously been seeing in practice and qualifying. Rob, could that explain why they've still got that confidence on turning, but the rear is just completely loose because it's just completely throwing the balance of the car up?
Yeah, absolutely. Balance is the key word there. What you find is that in the high grip, when the track's gripped up a bit, we might see a little bit less in the way of the rear end sliding around. But absolutely, if you've got really positive front end and then under traction, and of course as you're turning in, as the temperatures change, the balance of the car will shift. And sometimes teams don't quite get that change right before the race to actually kind of counter that shift in balance. Absolutely.
Oh, thank you very much. We've got Halverson leading a train here of soft runners who are right on the cusp of points. Oh, Thunder up the inside! He might get this one done. I don't know if Halverson's going to have the traction. He's got the grip around the outside, though. It proves me wrong.
Halverson holding on those hard tyres, then he's just found himself into the points. I don't think he's going to stay there particularly long, but...
Ooh, yellow in sector 2. What have we got?
Is that where the leaders are?
I hope not.
Well,
No,
I can't see anyone losing time.
Here we go. Thunderstorm.
Oh, there goes Thunder!
Oh, there's contact as well. So that's Zyland has lost a bit of his front wing. Milkovic is pitting for something, so I think he might have been involved in a bit of a scrap, bit of melee.
Yeah, potentially then, as Marcus Thunder goes round battling with Johan Halverson and his teammate. As that, that's a downturn. Is that Powers?
Yeah, that is Powers. Engine smoking and.
Well, I mean, he was out anyway, so.
Yes, so obviously, I imagine your heart leapt to your throat there, Bradley, as you thought it might have been Van
It did
Schnellhuyde,
slightly, as I panicked. That might have been Klaas Van Schnellhuyde. But I feel as though I've somewhat shot myself in the foot, as the first retirement of the season is one of the Downton cars.
I didn't want to point out the irony, but...
Remind me not to do that again.
Whoopsie. What's worth noting in this little trade, by the way, behind these guys, is a lot of them are on soft, but a few of them are on medium, so the soft's going to have to hit in the next couple of laps. And obviously the hard tyres, I'd be standard if they go to the end of the track.
But they've all got one stop to go, haven't they? Bar Halverson on the hards. Well, I mean, he might pit, but we don't know.
Tired runners have no more stops.
Sorry?
The medium-tired runners have no more stops. They made the stop after lap 22, as Thunder goes...
Yeah, but have they actually pitted yet?
Yeah, you watched it.
Oh, I don't know, there have been so many pit stops, I've kind of got a bit lost.
Just trust me on this one, medium-tired runners have stopped.
Duly noted.
Something of note, Danilo Farini has been keeping his lap times up, thanks to Rob, kept there, and he is rapidly close to the lead, and also stretching that gap back to Perez a bit here.
Well, I don't know, I mean, the gap between Farini and Perez is pretty much stable at about 5 seconds, so Perez has found his feet and is going with Farini now, setting relatively similar pace.
Sorry. It's like not a good joke.
As Adrian Simon sat in fourth, is going to come under pressure from Klaas Van Schnellhuyde any moment.
Yeah, he is. Van Snelheid having an interesting afternoon. Bit upsy downsy.
Oh, that's
Zylander goes
Zylander?
up the inside. Oh, Barkley has a big side of his moment defending there as we've got a yellow flag in sector 2. That'll be gone now, so it doesn't matter. Look at this train. Hard tyres. The fun shorts.
Yeah, they're all nose to tail, aren't they, behind Halverson? Look, Thunstrom's already 2.5 seconds up the road.
Can I just say Zylander has been driving a cracking race this afternoon. He had a great, he did a good job in qualifying, a cracking opening stint, and here he is on the cusp of points.
He really did, as has James Vazquez, let's not forget.
Yes.
The Colombian up in 7th, sort of like best of the rest behind the, you know, the usual suspects, in a car that, well, we thought was going to end up contending for Q1 at one point.
Yeah. And also another notable performer as Klaas looks at the inside there, but Seymour just closes the door. Is Hunter Ryan doing really well? And in fact, Thunstrom, I say. In fact, pretty much set every 7th down to, I'd say, about 12th and 13th have driven quite well.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you what, Davenport, in that Meteor that we know has got about as much pace as a snail, is still not last.
Kidd and Milkovic both had incidents where they had to make pit stops.
Yeah, but Kidd hasn't gone back past him.
Because they're all on the hard tyres, so they have no grip. Actually, yeah, that's to be fair.
Yeah,
Kidd
but he's
did
in a
have
much
enough
better
grip to
car.
pass him. Is the North Star?
Well, the Meteor's woeful, and that's being polite. So, yes, the North Star's a better car.
What have we got going on? Farini now under 10 seconds.
That's Zylander. Zylander on Halverson then forces the Dane wide at turn 1, gets the traction through turn 2, although Halverson's coming back at him, but Zylander's going to comfortably get that done. Schneider looking to take advantage. He's done 1. Is he going to do 2? He is as well. Finn Schneider up into 11th.
Jules Barkley here, just looking a little bit out of his depth. A bit too hesitant, I think. Obviously, it's his rookie season for the virtuals. We've got Klaas-Van Snelheid has made that pass, lifted himself up into the top 4.
Hallelujah.
But yeah, just noticing a bit of hesitation there from Barkley. Maybe a bit too nervous to possibly have an accident, as now Kinnaman is trying to pass Barkley, I think.
Yeah, that's Timo Kinnaman. As you say, attacking Elroy Wagner for 15th at the moment, but these positions... Oh, he's got Thunder up the inside! I could just see that ending in tears.
That was very much a heart and mouth moment. We've had a couple of those between us this race.
Interestingly, Farini stopped closing on Ruiz.
I just wonder if he's encountered traffic.
Yeah, well, I think it's either traffic or the tyres have kind of dropped off, but I don't know. He's it's another chunk. It must be traffic. Oh no, it can't be because Hoskins is the only one that's a lap down.
Yeah, but he's been a lap down for a little while, so I'm just wondering if maybe he's only just being caught now by Farini, as Farini now proceeds to take a whole second out of Ruiz. And what, does Ruiz have a problem?
Ruiz pit. That's his problem.
End of lap 32. Does he make that to the end of the race?
Yeah, comfortably.
Sure, because that would have been like an 11-10 lap stint.
No.
Rob, down to you in the pit lane.
16:32:48. Job done.
Comfortable two-stopper for Ruiz, then rejoins.
Oh, I forgot he's not on the extras. I'm so stupid.
Yeah, Ruiz rejoins comfortably in. Well, I was going to say clear air. He's got one of the North Stars just ahead of him, but.
Ooh.
Oh, in fairness, that's Hoskins a lap down on Kidd, isn't it? That's not to the race lead.
Well, yeah. I mean, he is obviously. It's both. Yeah, he's not a lap down on Kidd. I think that's just signifying he's not on the lead lap anymore.
No, that's a lap down to Kidd because that's the interval
definitely
gap.
Not been lapped by Kidd.
He has.
I refuse to believe it.
No, because he'd lost his rear wing as well, didn't he? So he had a 2-minute pit stop. So he will be. Yeah, Hoskins a lap down on Kidd. So actually, I'm not entirely sure where they're up to in terms of traffic.
Hoskins.
But Farini has definitely. They're ahead of Hoskins for God's sake. Farini has gained a bit of time there because Felix Perez has suddenly dropped 3 seconds back. As oh god, the two Lucases are pitting on the same lap again. It's all right.
Here
Thunderstruck was so far ahead, he was done with his stop before Thunder reached the box.
That would have been another embarrassing moment.
As rejoins in 17th behind Alar Kanga, driver who's not really featured much today.
No.
Or at all.
Lopez boys having a bit of a torrid afternoon of things.
Aren't they just? So it's all gone a bit wrong since pole in Japan, hasn't it?
Gee, if only we've seen this episode before. Oh, here we go. Simon up the inside. Hope I'm right. Yeah, of Addison.
Yep,
That's
sure is.
my commentating style.
Into 5th then. So yeah, that's Simon coming back after just making his final pit stop then.
Interesting, we're seeing a few drivers able to extend their soft-tired stints here. Yellow is
Oh,
three. That's Kinnaman backwards.
Oh, and he's been
Oh,
clouted
that's not
by
Come
Sergio
on.
Alvarez.
Use the forward ones. Jeez. Not like. Oh man, I wonder. If
Oh, and he's lost his front wing somewhere. There's debris scattered everywhere there, isn't there, on the exit turn 12?
Oh, there sure is, Bradley. Here we go. He's lost it all by himself. Oh,
hit
he's
the
lucky
wall.
to have not lost a wheel there. Lucky, lucky boy.
Yeah, very lucky. And then
Don't know what
decided
he's
he.
playing at.
Oh. I mean, Alvarez just understeered into him.
I mean, you come into that corner fully loaded up. I don't think Alvarez would have had any kind of a hope of avoiding that, really.
Absolutely is. That's Farini there. So there we go. So Farini has just lapped 18th place Schneider. That's where they're up to.
I told you he was up to Schneider.
Shut up. As James Vasquez now closing in on Nick Addison. No, as Vasquez can't have made his second pit stop yet, surely.
I don't think so.
Because he wouldn't be that close to Adrian Simon.
No. In fact,
in he comes. It's been a good drive by Vasquez. I don't think he's performed miracles.
Sorry to cut across you. They put Zylander up at best of the rest as we've got a yellow flag in sector 2. Matson dropping down the order. Yeah, Matson is out of the race.
So Jean Matson.
Exactly the same place as Powers.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, those marshals are going to have a collection of Formula Virtual cars behind that barrier, aren't they?
Yeah. Selling the bits to the highest bidder.
Absolutely. James Vasquez rejoins in 7th.
Oh, wow. Okay. I guess I shouldn't have said anything. Yikes, man.
Fair play to the Colombian. That's a great effort. And those 6 points will be, crucial for Ingram.
Yeah.
What tyres is Zylander on?
All of them. One of each kind on each corner.
Oh, fair play. I bet that handles like a truck.
Fun though. But yeah, he's on the medium tyres, so no more stops left to make. He's got Hunter Ryan for company on the soft, but I don't know if Ryan has made.
I think Ryan's got another stop to go, hasn't he? Because he wasn't that close to Vasquez.
No. And yeah,
was that Hoskins doing something?
Yes, Hoskins was
unlapping himself
from Davenport.
Ouch! That's painful.
I'm surprised they've kept him going, to be honest.
It's still data, I suppose, isn't it? These cars are still fairly new. You know, we're only 3 races into the season. This is Hunter Ryan now stalking Thierry Zylander, but surely, no, he doesn't think yet.
He's waiting for the perfect opportunity to pounce. Do you get it? Because he's Ocelot cats pounce on their prey. You know?
Very good.
You get it? You like it?
Yeah.
I like it. I think it's a good joke. I already kept that bit going too long.
Up front.
Oh, Wagner makes his way into a point position. Oh, Farini's in the pits.
We've got a yellow flag.
There's Halverson. Bye.
That's another one. And I was going to say another one bites the dust, but another one bites the turn 2 wall.
I'm going to call it the wall of... Can't say that word, no.
Well, who have we had in there? Powers, Hoskins, and now Halverson.
Yes.
We can't really call it a wall of champions, can we?
Has Halverson ever won a V-Prix?
Yeah.
of all of winners.
That works as
That sounds like something in like the bottom set at your local secondary school.
Oh, that's contact. That's Ruiz getting caught up with traffic.
Yeah, but he
Just about got away with it then. As now that the Supersoft runners have made their final stop, Ruiz has a comfortable 8-second lead. That will be eroded, but I don't think anywhere near quick enough for Farini to challenge.
No, I think Ruiz is kind of
Although,
exerting some control over the race at the front here.
if Ruiz has just lapped Benilton, he's got what, Barkley and then a bit of a gap, Thunder, and then 4 seconds to be fair. So it's not like there's a mammoth train of cars in front of him waiting to be lapped as Hunter Ryan goes past Thierry Zylander.
Yeah, Ryan's done a great job there. I think. Surely
he must have made both stops then.
Yeah, otherwise he just wouldn't have the. Oh, it's Halverson. Oh yeah, of course, no ruining. Doy.
Johan Halverson in then for his rear wing change, so he'll probably come out, well, somewhere near Will Hoskins.
No. No.
Okay. There's Maximilian Thunstrom then, harassing Elroy Wagner for the final points position. That's the soft tyres against mediums, so neither of them have any more pit stops to make.
I was going to make a joke, but it doesn't make sense now that you've carried on a sentence.
I'll tell you what, I said Farini wasn't going to catch Ruiz.
Yeah.
He was half a second slower on the last lap.
Maybe Ruiz was just passing some more track. Oh no, because that's still Barkley in front of him.
Yeah. But that gap. Oh, jeez. I thought he was heading in the wall there, like Kinnaman did.
Thanks for that.
Sorry.
Yeah, I should think so.
Farini has closed that gap because it was 6.5 seconds last time I looked, but he just looks though he's stalling out. Yeah, I think the traffic's really interfering with his hopes of catching Ruiz.
Schneider sends it up the inside of Alvarez. Alvarez says no.
Alvarez hung it on the outside of turn 1 and, unlike everyone else we've seen today, actually managed to hold on to the car.
Yeah, quite impressive. And then Schneider just does it again.
Yeah. I mean, well, that was coming, wasn't it, to be fair?
Yeah.
Schneider looked a lot quicker.
Speaking of... No, I can't segue that. Thunstrom made his way up into the points. Relegates Wagner outside of the points.
Oh, good effort. As Ruiz looks to lap. That's got to be Barkley then, hasn't it?
Yeah, that's a bit of a brave... Barkley doesn't seem to be looking in his mirrors. Move out of the way! They give us nice engines! Yes, we are going to throw down to Robert after short. No, Van Schnellheid DNF. He's out of the race.
Oh.
It's a double DNF then for Downton here at the Australian V-Prix. I wonder what's happened there. It must have just been getting unless he's broken down.
Oh, well, is that Perez? That's Perez!
Quite telling.
Felix Perez from 3rd.
That's a North Star without a front wing.
What's gone on here then? Surely there's been... Well, I don't know, because, Klaas was a long way behind Perez, wasn't he? So they can't have come together.
No, I just wonder if maybe Klaas...
Right, well this is Klaas in the pits there. Oh, so there must be a mechanical issue.
Yeah, it sounds like he's stuck in... Oh! That was close. Scared him so much that he just got out of the car.
So, here we go. Oh! So Nikolai Milkovic... trying to get out of the way, clipped the wall, and Perez had nowhere to go.
Oh, stupid mistake from Milk. Oh. You're supposed to get there, Sunshine.
Good effort.
Perez with no time. There's no way he can react to that.
No, absolutely nothing that Felix Perez could do there then. So Klaas Van Schnellheid and Felix Perez drop out of the race on the same lap. We've got Kidd and Kinnaman into the pits.
We've still got... Oh, we've still got Milkovic in the wall.
We do, yeah, that's, thankfully, he seems to just about be out of harm's way now, though. Simon pits! And that was a long stop.
Oh, yellow and... Oh, so we got some hard-tired pit stops, I think.
Vasquez is up to 3rd.
Has another trip to the pits. Vasquez is
onto the podium!
Seymour's going to have, surely, pressure tyres or something here, though.
That's a long stop for Addison as well.
What's going on? Yellow in sector 2. Here comes Addison. Then will he come out inside the points? He does.
But just behind Kanga.
Another. Oh, that yellow is going to be repeated for Milkovic while he tries to move out of a wall.
Yeah.
Awkward.
As right. So Ruiz leads. Farini has nearly caught him. He's within 2 seconds of the race lead.
Oh yeah, that's very good.
While all this chaos has been going on around them, the two leaders are very nearly nose to tail. Ruiz is suddenly going to have to start thinking about defending. There are some cars in front as well.
We're going to have a mega showdown here for the win here, I think.
Yeah, it's a second. We could be in for an absolute grandstand finish as long as Barkley gets out of the bloody way.
He's trying his best, man.
It looks as though he's fighting him, to be honest. As Schneider's gone past that, Addison's dropping down. Addison dropping down the order, and that's another engine on fire. At nearly the same place.
Just spoken tongues. Something worth pointing out, again pointed out to me by Rob, really on it today. You'll notice the Barkley there, while he was still giving some hassle to the as Ruiz gets massively bulked. He's been pushed out wide.
And look, Farini's on him. Farini is on him with 2 laps to go.
This is crucial now that he makes. And look at that.
Alvarez gets on the grass to get out of the way down the pit straight.
So obviously what we're forgetting here is that the guys aren't really expecting to be lapped that much, I think. So which is why they struggle to let the upcoming leaders behind, let them through. But once they've let a leader through, they are suddenly a lot more aware of who they're looking for and who's going to be coming through. As evidenced by Alvarez there, initially being caught off guard and then being able to move easily out of the way.
Yeah, very, very valid point. As Farini all over the back then of Enrique Ruiz, he's got the tyre advantage, but we've seen how difficult it is to make a move with just a 1 compound advantage.
Yeah, and he's only got really maybe 3 or 4 more chances to do it. Got 1 more chance to turn 1. He could do it here with speed and brake, but he's not.
I don't think he's got the advantage to do it there.
There is a chance to do it in turn 13, and 1 more if he's really gone late on the brakes down into 15.
Absolutely. Nose to tail then. Enrique Ruiz has led this pretty much the whole way through as Thunstrom and Zylander battling it out side by side for 6th and 7th.
Place, yeah.
But they're going to pick up some brilliant points, aren't they, as a result of this late drama we've seen here in Australia. Hunter Ryan's up to 5th for crying out loud.
Well, 5th fastest. Simon, within a second of Vasquez, will be desperate to lift himself onto the rostrum to at least achieve a double podium for the team. Meanwhile, Ruiz, looking his mirrors left and right, needs to make sure he nails this defence. He gets it right, blocks off the attack there from Farini. He's going to have to try somewhere else.
Yeah, Farini just doesn't try it into turn 3, and he's really running out of chances now then. On the final lap here in Australia, James Vasquez will be desperately trying to hold on to that podium. That's going to be ridiculous. Ingram, who haven't even looked capable of scoring points so far this season.
Benilton is out.
As Xander Benilton joins the list of retirees then.
Meteor Davenport in 15th place. He's going to score an Omega finish. We've had a pretty late race of attrition here.
I don't think it will do an awful lot for them because most of the teams that are ahead of them are going to score points at this rate. Schneider's in 10th. AMR are on for a point. AMR are on to win their points drought. As Farini can't get the move done on Ruiz then. He's got, 1 more chance if he wants to brave it, but I don't think he's going to have the opportunity.
No, I think Ruiz has held on.
Absolutely nowhere near then. Farini stalked him all the way and came exceptionally close. But Enrique Ruiz is going to hold on. It's the first non-Downton win of the season, and it goes the way of Enrique Ruiz. He just holds on from Danilo Farini, who fought as best he could, but couldn't quite take the win away. And we now have nearly a minute wait for 3rd place, but it's going to be a 3rd place absolutely no one could have predicted.
Something that's funny to me, though, is Milkovic has still not passed, like in terms of the standings, Van Snelheid, Perez, Addison, Orban, Hilton in front of him.
I think Milkovic has stopped at the side of the road, in fairness.
Oh shit, he is, isn't he? Halverson also only just got past Van Hilton.
Yeah, well, obviously both Halverson and Hoskins had a like 2-minute pit stops for rear wing changes. As James Vasquez then rounds the final corner, Simon hasn't been able to do it. Vasquez is going to take the most unexpected of podiums.
Just a thoroughly
Unbelievable!
solid drive there from the Colombian. He's really proved his mettle today, to be fair to him.
Absolutely phenomenal then from Vasquez. Simon finishes 4th ahead of Hunter Ryan with a brilliant 5th for Ocelot. Maximilian Thunstrom, another great drive for 6th. Thierry Zylander, another one in 7th. And that's Finn Schneider, and his engine is giving up the ghost, but hopefully he'll he's going to make it to the line. AMR have ended their points drought here at their home race.
What a sight that is for the team. They would have been determined to get that car over the line.
Phenomenal, and between them then, Wagner in 8th and Kanga in 9th, as Enrique Ruiz brings it back to begin the celebrations and the podium. Here come the drivers then out onto the podium. In an unexpected 3rd place for Ingram V-Prix, it's James Vasquez. In 2nd for JFPT Franklin Honda with his maiden podium finish, Danilo Farini. And onto the top step then for Coca-Cola Porsche Team Mafashaw, your winner, Enrique Ruiz. And in his honour, the Brazilian national anthem. There we have it then, it's Enrique Ruiz on the top step in his first win of the year after struggling in Japan and the team missing a good result in Malaysia due to Elroy Wagner's maiden podium for Danilo Farini and Vasquez his 2nd career rostrum, last taken in Malaysia 2018. Very unexpected with Ingram's pace in the first few races. Along with Farini, Hunter Ryan, Maximilian Thunstrom and Thierry Zylander take their career best finishes, and Schneider and AMR their first points since Australia 2018 and Mexico 2017 respectively. At the bottom there we see the retirees, including both Downtons, their perfect start to the season ended very abruptly here in Australia. In the Drivers' Championship, it hasn't made a lot of difference. They're still top, but Danilo Farini now just 1 point behind the pair of them tied. Alar Kanga slips to 4th after only picking up a couple of points here today. Ruiz and obviously James Vasquez, huge gainers in the championship. Vasquez up 17 positions. Thierry Zylander also gaining with 6 points. And Carson Davenport as well, gaining 7 positions. He's up to 23rd with that 15th place finish, which is absolutely crucial for his team Meteor especially. In the Constructors' Championship, it's still Downton that lead. 3 teams scored their first points of the season here in Australia: Ingram, Phoenix and AMR. That's made changes. Franklin have gone up to 2nd, Mathershaw up to 4th, Phoenix are 9th, Ingram are right up in 7th, AMR are 10th, and Meteor have gone up to 13th then, ahead of Arrow and Highwind. But that's all from our race here in Australia. So from me, Lily and Rob, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time for round 4 from Kyalami, South Africa.